In this video, we'll look at how to examine DIF, differential item functioning, with Winsteps. So what is differential item functioning, or DIF? DIF occurs when individuals from different groups who have the same underlying ability have different probability of responding correctly or more positively to an item. There are different types of DIF. There's something called uniform DIF, and that's when one group of respondents consistently performs better than another group, regardless of the ability levels of the individuals. And then in non-uniform DIF, the group differences vary based on whatever section of the ability spectrum one is looking at. And why it matters is that it's really a core concept to the fairness and validity of the test scores. It could indicate different types of item bias, including cultural or linguistic misalignments, or it could be evidence that we're measuring some other construct than the intended, and we're doing that unintentionally. And the detection approach in Rasch analysis is usually to compare item difficulties across those groups. Now I want to describe how we might test DIF in Winsteps. So you'll see in the course that there is a data file that is a modified version of the transitive reasoning data. And those data are stored in an Excel file called transres_diff. And in this data file, there's an additional variable from what was there before. And this variable dichotomizes the grade level into two binary categories: upper elementary, so that's grades 5 and 6, those students are all coded as a 1, and lower elementary students, that's grades 2 through 4, they're coded as a 0. I've also gone ahead and made a control file from this modified transitive reasoning data. And in the course, you'll see a text file called transres_diff_cf, where CF means control file. That is the control file we want to pull into Winsteps for analysis. So go ahead and stop the video and go out into Winsteps and make sure you have opened up this control file that I just described. Once you have opened up the control file and pressed enter to begin the analysis, you're ready to produce some information, an output table that will tell us a little bit about DIF. So notice that if you click on Output Tables, one of the options there, Output Table 30, is Item DIF, between, within. If you go to this menu and release on Output Table 30, it will bring up a pop-up window, and there's a down arrow there in the diff equals window. What you want to do there is click that down arrow and select the variable grade.gro. This is just an abbreviated version referring to the variable that's in this diff data file. That is that binary grade grouping of upper elementary, lower elementary. So we want to select that grade.gro variable because that is the one that we're going to explore differential item functioning based upon. So then once you have that selected, as I've shown in the blue box, go ahead and click OK. Now let's have a look at what Table 30 produces. Here's Table 30. First thing I'll point out from this table is that in the far right column, we have all of the items identified. Item 1 through 10, or task 1 through 10. We also have a column called diff contrast. And the diff contrast value is the ability measure for group 0 minus the ability measure for group 1. So as such, if the diff contrast value is negative, then that means the difficulty is lower for a certain item in group 0 than in group 1. And then the converse would be true if the diff contrast is positive, then the difficulty is higher in group 0 than in group 1. This table 30 also provides a p-value for the difference between the two measures across the two groups. And statistical significance, as indicated by these p-values in the probability column, should definitely be examined. but sample size and power should also be considered. So we do have a sample of 425 respondents. So that should be a large enough sample to detect meaningful differences as statistically significant. And we see that none of the p-values in that probability column are smaller than 0.05. But it is best practice to go beyond just statistical significance and also look at the size of that diff contrast and contextualize it. So for example, I'll pull out the biggest one. One of the diff contrasts is negative 0.55 logits. How do we know if that's big enough to be worried about or not? Well, if the range of all of the abilities of the persons is only 1 logit, and we have a 0.55 difference across 2 groups within that small range, I would probably be concerned about that big of a difference. But if the range of abilities is from, say, -5 to +5 logits, then that 0.55 difference across groups is small within that context and maybe would be less worrisome. The bottom line here is that when determining whether we want to explore why a certain item might demonstrate diff for certain groups, it's not only a statistical significance consideration, but it's also a contextualization of the size of that diff contrast value. Both of those things are important.